It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game.
We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be our visitors taking on our home team. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, year 8 for the two of us as a broadcast team. We've done games really all over the globe. And I tell you, it never fails to amaze me how loud these NFL fans get in supporting their home team.
I agree with you. Oftentimes we have to even get closer to each other to look at each other, to talk sometimes when these crowds really get cranked up. Those are the fun ones. That's the best atmosphere for you and I to work in.
Well, meanwhile, for our visitors, of course, winning on the road, never easy. What do they need to do here to give themselves a chance at victory?
Two things come to mind. Either come out swinging big right from the start or treat it like a golf tournament. Don't shoot yourself out of it early. Just hang in there and settle in.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
And when you watch him play, everything just looks like it comes so naturally to him. When he's dialed in and finds that zone, passes are crisp, he sees the field really well, and he takes charge as the leader of this offense.
5 yards on the game's first play, second down. He'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A 5-yard pass on first down and another 5-yard connection there. He'll look to throw. Finding space at the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Oh, that's a nice job of clearing space in the middle of the field for your tight end. He's going to start behind the line and run an angle route, hoping to kind of get lost in the middle of the field. And this is put right on him, and he's able to pick up a first down.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Well, still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels. Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Meanwhile, the throw here is complete, and he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9. Line of scrimmage, the 9. Second and about a yard. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll drop to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
It hasn't been a real good start to this game from a defensive perspective, but now after the incompletion on 2nd down, things may be changing. If they can come up with one more play, they might be able to get out of it with just a field goal attempt.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
The secret to his game and his success, incredible chemistry with each and every one of the guys who catches passes with him. And not only does he ask them to stay after practice or meet him before practice, he actually demands it because he knows if they have that kind of chemistry built up, they're going to be hard to beat each and every ball game.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Really good effort. He does it himself, picks up 15, also picks up the first down. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
2nd and 10. Back to throw here. Fighting to stay upright. He finds Douglas complete. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
This play is a thing of beauty when it works as designed because they let the running back slip out of the backfield and head down the sideline on a wheel route. Number one, it's easy for him to get lost. And number two, really tough for the linebacker to run with him. And this ball's right on the money and leads to a big play.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game. The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
And this one is right through. And that will tie us at 3-3. So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the second drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Going a little tennis on me,
I know you. You like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back out and they get a backhand. What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
I like that.
Really good backhand.
With some nice top spin on the whole thing. I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bomb. And the ball is knocked out. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Do you remember in preseason when we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. It sets them back for 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. A 5-yard touchdown. And his guys have taken the lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They'll set up to throw. His throw incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Can't get away, and he's taken down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The drive will start with an option going left. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. Pretty good job there defensively of stringing that one out.
Yeah, you've got a quarterback who's waiting and waiting for something to develop, and it just never materialized, and down he went behind the line of scrimmage.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this 1st half. A 2nd one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
22 yards there, a 1st down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. From the 20, here's 2nd and 5. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown run. And they are able to add on to their advantage. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field and, of course, for pass plays. But the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offensive coordinator felt it, dialed it right up.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This taken in at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
From the 24 now, here's a 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. Small takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw, and that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. A little jet sweep to start the drive. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Now a throw here to his running back. They'll give him 4 yards there. And 3rd and 8 now.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle. Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Back out comes this offense now late in this first half. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And that's just a solid, good physical run there as he motors for 9 yards. Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's
the
where we
highlights are
find
fairly
our man
one-sided to this point.
Coachman
It's
at
a
our
2-touchdown difference here at the break.
Coach.
But I wouldn't call this one over just yet. I think there could still be some fireworks yet to come.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. (17-3) the score as we resume action for the second half on EA Sports. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime. Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
He's got his target. That's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
They'll look to throw again. That is incomplete. So 2 third-down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 46 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
He finds McCoy. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. They'll set up a throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
Well, that's not exactly how they drew that one up, nor practiced it, because on first down, you're trying to get some yardage to set up 2nd and 3rd down calls. In this case, had to drop it off to his running back, but boy, they closed quickly on that one and stopped him behind the line of scrimmage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Over the middle, complete. That's Warren. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
Now a 2nd and 6. Back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll leave them with a 3rd and just a yard. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Well, so much for that possession.
Yeah, I think he tried to do a little too much there, partner. He tried to keep it himself. Ended up getting buried in the backfield, and that brings up 4th down.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. 57 yards on the ground for him so far.
And that was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A 3rd down gain of 19.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there. It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
In trouble, and he's taken down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. Back now in Nashville. as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the fourth quarter. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. Fourth down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in fourth and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Now there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Here's 2nd and 10. Up the middle, Johnson. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 40 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
As many games as the 2 of us do, I would hope that one day we'll be able to solve this riddle. Why is it on a hot day that one team has more trouble with the heat than another, and especially when you can't stop a guy running the ball?
You know it's September in the booth, though, when you and I have both removed our coats, and those were gone in the first quarter.
They were gone in the first quarter, and what we're watching now is a defense mentally giving in and sagging a little bit because they haven't been able to stop him.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
It's always been funny to me, Brandon, when coaches always talk about on hot days like the one we have here. Well, it's hot for both teams. But when one team has the advantage, when one team is running the ball really well and closing things out, it's hotter for the defensive side, and they sag a lot quicker.
Yeah, they say the dog days of August, the heat we're seeing here today, dog days of September, and the advantage right now on the offensive side. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture as now they've got a 1st and 10. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Completes it to Douglas. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
2nd down and a yard. Now a handoff up the middle. Carroll. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
On 2nd and goal, here's the option. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well. My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And his kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan and especially the execution.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth, but a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Now a 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he comes back with one complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
And avoids the contact by sliding. And now they're in the hurry-up. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. A quick throw there is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. He'll drop to throw. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Down the sideline he goes. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, you know, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the hands team does its job. They're able to secure it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. We've got to have two hands on the football here as they run on first down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And he is going to have a first down here, and that should be the one that seals a victory. And they will take a knee here. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. Another one in the books for his partner. Always great to be by your side. And look, both offenses, both defenses had some moments in this one, but I think you would agree these coaching staffs are also going to have some stuff to clean up on film.
Absolutely, partner, and let's face it, any game we get to watch from up here, it's going to be a blast. Do we want to get a real job? Absolutely not. Let's keep watching the NFL all season long.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.